Miss Frančeska, welcome to this beautiful city, welcome to Bosnia, and thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to ask you, how do you feel in Sarajevo? What is the feeling that it gives you and the vibe?
It's complex. I think that I need to let it sink a little bit, because for people of my generation and for who I am today, for who I was 30 years ago, it's like closing a circle. I've always had this fear of coming to this part of the Balkans because
of the history, right? Because of everything.
Because of history, but also because of a sense of shame. I mean, I was 18 back then, so, and like 18-year-old who are now protesting, taking the street, and so there is always this, and also the fear of encountering the legacy of that horror. And no, I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible the warmth and the beauty that I feel here. So I'm very happy to have come. Even if I've been sobbing a lot, but I think it's
right now probably the main focus in the world. Why is the world, the big guys, let's call them the big guys, are so afraid of a UN expert who does it pro bono, for telling the truth, for asking for accountability for genocide atrocities against Palestinians, children in Gaza, in the West Bank? Why are they so afraid of you? Why are they trying to, let's call it, kill the messenger?
Yeah, look, I hope it remains very metaphorical. But no, look, it's, I think that what happens to me happens to everyone who challenges the system, who has denounced genocide, who has asked for the end of it, the end of forever occupation of the Palestinians' land and life, the end of apartheid. And the thing is that I have a positionality, a visibility inside the UN, and over the years I've gained a respect that makes my findings and my legal analysis listened to. And the fact that I have unwillingly become a beacon of light for many, and this is not something I've searched for. I mean, the only thing I've done is to document what was happening, what has been happening since May 2022, when I started being a UN Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian territory, until present day, the facts and offering legal analysis. Probably the difference is that instead of staying on the chronicling of the violations, and this is also who I am as a legal expert, I tend to provide the context and to provide the bigger picture. And my voice has become increasingly inconvenient, but especially while denouncing genocide, now so many more have joined this assessment. The point is that my last report explained that if this genocide has not been stopped, it's not just for the unrelinquished territorial ambition of Israel, who wants to create greater Israel at the expense of the Palestinians. In fact, Palestinians are not just genocided in Gaza, they are being ethnically cleansed with everything that it represents. And so I've been saying since 6 months, the genocide is leaking out into the West Bank. Look at the killing, look at the torture.
The real-time genocide that is being streamed, that we are watching, right?
But the point is that it's not just because of that it is not stopped. It's not just because of Israel. It's not even because of the ideology that resonates with affinity and sympathy among Western countries, unfortunately, who stand by Israel. It's not that they are doing nothing. They are supporting, supplying weapons. It's also because, and this is the most important finding of my last report, there are many who are profiting out of it. The genocide doesn't stop because it's lucrative. And I mean, if you look, I mean, the stock exchange of Tel Aviv, its value has tripled over, since October
Right,
2023. Yeah, 2023. It's 3 times what it was, and it has amassed $220 billion. Mainly because this is not because Israelis have become richer. Many Israelis have lost their job. Many Israelis have lost their livelihood, their homes, and they are not faring really well. But companies, especially the arms manufacturers and the
big organized corporations,
big corporations, and especially those in the tech industry, in the surveillance industry, they're doing really well.
Ms. Frančeska, does it weigh heavy on you when you come out with such a report and there are these big corporations, these big names, these presidents of the countries, they say, well, we don't want her there anymore. How do we silence her? Let's sanction her. Does it weigh heavy on you, on your family, and on you personally?
Yeah, of course. But
what implications does that have for you?
Look, I'm still assessing. I'm still letting it sink in. It will hit hardly me and my family and everyone working with me, because technically, it will cut the eagerness of many to cooperate with me. But this is a moment of reckoning. Shall we be silenced? Shall we abide by these, as I call it, these mafia-style intimidation techniques, or respond through what hits this system in its very heart, standing united, not being silenced, not
What
being
leads you? What leads you to do that so courageously? I have to say that not many people, when they're called anti-Semitic, just for asking for accountability and showing the world what's happening, they stop talking. What leads you to to keep such courageous stance on human rights when it comes to Palestinians?
The genocide. We cannot stay silent.
But you call it what it is.
Yeah, because Palestinian children or even Israeli children are not different from my own children. This is what makes us human, isn't it? They're children, or they are women like you and me, or men like our husbands, our brothers, our fathers. They don't deserve this. They deserve protection. And again, if we don't stand next to one another, if we don't stand by one another in these moments, what kind of humans are we? If we do not react to the fact that 18,000 children have been killed, and countless of them have been turned into pieces. They've lost limbs, they've been amputated without anesthesia, they're being starved. If we do not react to this, something is seriously broken inside us as individuals and as societies. And this is why I think that this is
a turning point. I feel like this is a turning point for the world.
It's a turning point for many.
What do you think, how is this going to end? To conclude our conversation, how is this going to end? Do you think there is an end to this? Because it's...
Of course.
How do you see it ending? How do you see it?
It depends. It depends on what we do now. In how long will we allow this to go on? Everything has an end. Sooner or later it will end, but how it will end depends on what we do or do not do today. The genocide in this country would have ended much earlier had people with power done what they were responsible to do. Prevent genocide. And so this is the turning point today. I think that 30 years ago, there was not the possibility to ignite a global resistance of like the moral warriors we were mentioning before. And there is no warriors in the sense of embracing weapons, no. It's embracing rights and fighting for justice and accountability, which cannot happen without stopping the genocide first and foremost. This is why I call to act both states who have obligations under international law. They have obligations to prevent, stop, and punish genocide. But even if we don't call it genocide, right, there is an obligation to stop war crimes and crimes against humanity. And Israel now is facing proceedings for genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. And it still continues to dictate present and imagine a future for Gaza. No, Israel, according to international law and International Court of Justice, which has recognized that Israel maintains an unlawful occupation which must be dismantled totally and unconditionally, the only legal thing that Israel must do in the occupied Palestinian territory, it's recalling the troops, withdrawing the troops, dismantling the settlements, and stopping to control the natural resources of the Palestinians. And because Israel will not do that on its own will, we need to use the law and impose sanctions, full arms embargo. We don't buy, states can't buy weapons, can't sell weapons, can transfer weapons directly and indirectly to Israel, and anything else that can be used in the commission of crimes against the Palestinians. So, and ultimately, it's upon all of us to make sure that the governments do what they have to do.
Ms. Frančeska, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.